Even though we were brought up in Jonggu, I was born in Lower Jonggu in Pidang. He gave us a good education.
Your first question is like the turning point of life. जहाँ चाहिँ तपाईलाई चाहिँ पुरा सबसे भन्दा ज्यादा डर लाग्यो थियो.
Like maybe when the election results was out. That was the time when I was, shall we say, I was in a limbo. I didn't know, maybe will I win or will I lose?
अहिलेको current situationमा what you are scared of?
Okay, that's coming generations. They're taking everything for granted. They're taking life very easy, especially our Sikkimese people, our generations.
Master camera, subscribe to the Taxi Show. Greetings all. Today we have a impactful and dynamic character with us, Ma'am Chungkipu Lepcha. She had served several years in the education field. She had been the chairman of State Women Commission Sikkim, and she had also an impactful cameo in the political aspect of Sikkim. So, welcome, ma'am.
Hamri.
Ma'am. So, how are you, ma'am?
I'm fine. It's great meeting you all.
Thank you for giving your valuable time in your midst of this busy schedule. Where do we start, ma'am? You have a very diverse career and diverse life. So from where do we start?
Okay. I think we should start from the beginning, no? Let's start from the beginning. What would you like to know about me?
You have been from the pre-merger time.
Yeah.
So we want to know your childhood. How was it in the perspective of women?
I was born in the 1960s, and in the days of the Chogyal regime, and those days were very, very difficult. Very little, few communications, very little communications, very no electricity, very few schools. Everyone was mostly all the people were farmers, cardamom growers, orange growers, etc. So those were the days that I was brought up. But as you know, my father was late Lepcha. He was a mandal of Rumlingta, that area, and since he was very, shall we say, he was a very smart for his age, for his days. He knew a lot of about the world. I knew he had communicated. He had gone out, and he was aware of things going around. So he knew the value of education. So even though we were brought up in Jonggu, I was born in Lower Jonggu in Pidang. He gave us a good education, and me, my brothers, he sent me to St. Joseph's Convent, Kalimpong. My brothers went to SAS, St. Augustine's. So we got a very good education during our days, which was not possible, which other students had never thought of. So that way, I was lucky to have such parents as my father and my mothers also. They were the backbone of my father and my family.
So ma'am, as you said that तपाईँको father was त्यो देशको लागि चाहिँ he was smart enough हैन ल. अब तपाईले चाहिँ you had gained easily अब education. अब त्यो त्यति बेला समयमा अब तपाई त मण्डलको छोरी भएर हैन ल. अब you had get education. अब त्यो समयमा चाहिँ women different एरियामा बस्ने हैन, रुरल एरियासमा बस्ने वुमनहरुलाई चाहिँ त्यति बेला चाहिँ कस्तो चाहिँ थियो होला अब how they struggle to get the education and all?
During those days for the women, it was I think they had a lot of hardships, especially the women in the rural areas. Okay, अब उनीहरु घरको आमाहरु त घरमै बसेर बारीहरु कमाउनु पर्यो. त्यति बेला त पुरै खेती कमाइ हुन्छ. खेतको टाइममा मकैको टाइममा कोदोको टाइममा अलैँची रोप्नुपर्छ it was a lot hard work each day every day whether it is sunshine or rain as for the children नानीहरू त there was hardly any schools and in fact go to school it was set up by my father during Tashinam girls time so and in Dictionary Bazaar a school was set up by my father-in-law's father Katup Mandal. They were the ones who set up the schools for the children. Okay? And I think Mangal school was just coming up, in fact. So, thinking for education for girls, it was out of the book, shall we say? It was not thought of during those days. It was only few people who were broad-minded enough that they gave their daughters education. छोराहरूले चाहिँ एजुकेसन दिनु त छोडेर सबैजना काममा गर्नुपर्छ बिहान बेलुका काम गर्नै पर्यो होइन दाउरा टिप्नु बा घाँस काट्नु that was the main thing hard work was the main thing so education was secondary so those were the days
like you had said you have gone for the education in St. Joseph like in Kalimpong right like if we compare like at that time there were Chogil regime in this area like and like when you went for the education in Kalimpong that was the part of India at that time right
yes.
And at that time the scenario between that like in that independent India and like Sikkim how was different about in the perspective of like women
of course going from Tongu rural area then we had to walk up to Gantok and from Gantok we had to catch a taxi to go to Kalimpong so when we reached Kalimpong, it was like going into a big city for us. So it was, over there in Kalimpong, of course, everyone got education. There were many schools over there. And so it was vastly different. Of course, in Gantok, there were a number of schools also. But in rural Sikkim, with a few places, I think only few places, especially only in the major cities, towns, Mangan, Gantok, Ranipur, Girsing. These main towns only had schools, good schools. But one thing, I will always say that during the Chogal's regime, even though the schools were few, the Chogal had always insisted on Caroline teachers. Why? Because Caroline teachers are very, very hardworking. And I still remember during the winters, there was one Caroline teacher in Gore school, and my father insisted that he come and tutor us. So I used to see those Caroline teachers. There was no roads that time. They had to carry all the saudas, rations, and all from Dikchu Bazaar climb up to Shaigyong and Gore. They always used to go and stay there and do their work, and that's why we had this older generation. I'm sure nowadays you have bureaucrats, many of the bureaucrats and officers of Sikkim, who maybe many of them have retired, but they are the outcome of those Caroline teachers and those old schools of the Chogal region.
Ma'am, like may I know like what is Caroline teacher?
Caroline teachers means teachers coming from Kerala.
Okay.
Kerala, because they were very hardworking, they were very sincere in their jobs. So always the Chogal always insisted on having more of Caroline teachers for the schools in Sikkim. And imagine hiking up all the way up to Sangtok. Just now, this thing, cars reach up there. We have local jeeps and all that. Imagine going up to Gore. Then I think they had in Higyathang, then Mangan. Then further north, I think there were a number of schools.
Apart from your like education, okay, ma'am, like how was your childhood as the bond with the father and like parents?
I must say that I had a happy childhood. Of course, there was in school. Of course, we were always happy. There was nothing. We had no. We are very free and we are carefree. And of course, there was. I didn't have much problems with my childhood. It was only after my father's demise, when I was class 8, that life really hit me hard.
Like Nico, ma'am, you have a very joyful childhood. Like our topic life ma move on forward bharda like you have been for the Kalimpong, okay, and like when you return to the Sikkim after getting the education and all, तपाईँले चाहिँ when you were clicked that you will be teacher भनेर अब it was like motivated or like तपाईँ चाहिँ पहिल्यैदेखि पढ्ने बित्तिकै I will be teacher भनेर थियो कि like somewhere you have been motivated that you have to be teacher like for doing something for the society and all?
I have to tell you frankly, I was not even motivated also. As a carefree child, out of your teens, you just don't know what to do. Yeah, it's not like nowadays children, they have the Facebook and then they are updated, they know what to do and all that. So during our days, we had only the radio to listen to, and that also in Zongo, no. So whatever ambitions and all I had in school days. But as I told you, the death of my father, put a stop to all that. Maybe I was highly ambitious. I wanted to do a lot of things. But to be ambitious and to do a lot of things, you must have a lot of money. So after the death of my father, all that came to a standstill. And my mothers took over. And though I continued with my education, then I got married at an early age. Because during those days, mothers, since I had number of 4 brothers below me, so I guess they wanted to settle me in life. So my ambition, it was, for the time being, it was temporary. It came to a standstill over there. And coming to a teacher's job, as you said, during those days, it was very easy to get a job. And since LD Kaji, my father was in the party, LD Kaji's party for democracy. He had fought for democracy. My father had died before the democracy came in. So I got a job easily. In fact, my order came at home only. Just like nowadays, these where just children get a job. I got it at home, my order. And I got the order that as a teacher in Dikshup's secondary school. So that's how I entered the teaching field.
Like talking with you, like I have that feeling that you have been very influenced by your father, right? So would you like to highlight some characteristic of your father?
As I remember my father, he was a very strong personality. And during his time, he himself didn't have education. That much I know. Because those days, they never had education. But I always saw him writing in Nepali, When he had to send a letter also, he wrote it in Nepali and he used to sign it with Dukchen. He used to write it in English. So it never hit me hard. It was only after that I realized when my mother used to say that that Dukchen also, in fact, my mother taught him. And in fact, I had 2 mothers. My bigger mom, my mom's elder sister, during those they used to have 2 wives. So my mother, my umbom, shall we say, she was the brain behind that. She was the staunch person in the family. So she told me that she used to teach him how to write Dukchen. So that's how he wrote his name in Dukchen. And in Nepali, of course, he used to read fairly well. So even with the little literacy that he had, he was very smart. And he knew how to go about and how to, control people and how to make people work together, like how the Panchals do today. He was a mandal, in fact. So he brought about a number of changes and in his field. And I think in Dongu also people still remember him. And there are a number of people who still talk of him also.
Okay. You have been teacher in Dikshu for the first time. And when you had been appointed as a teacher, the first scenario, what it was like?
My God, coming from St. Joseph's and coming to Dikchu school, it was a private school then, junior school, sorry. My God, from coming in St. Joseph's, we had established buildings and all that, where in Dikchu school, there were huge holes in the walls, and you could see from one classroom to the other classroom, and the floors were all, there were all holes and dust everywhere, and the children used to come so dirty to school during those days. and all hair and all that. The parents literally, they never used to look after their children. It was very different from nowadays parents and those parents. So it was a vast difference, from where you reached. Yeah, like you never couldn't imagine.
So like, how was the enrollment back then? Like,
During those days, enrollment was not bad. It was quite good, in fact, because there were no private schools. So the only schools there were the government schools. So the children all used to come to the government schools.
the ratio of gender, like the female and male.
The female and male also, of course, the male was more. Female there was less girls.
So like, ma'am, you have told about that, the gender, like
Gender
shoe and list, and like, so there are so many schemes that launched by the central government and like from the state government to like Baini scheme and like Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. So in this generation, like in this 2008 era, so it was the scheme impacted that the enrollment of like girls increases in school.
At present,
Yeah.
at present, the girls' enrollment is increasing. You mean that?
Yeah.
That's true. Because I don't know, the male population seems to be going down, and I think our children, the male species, shall we say, and they are not interested in studies or what. I think the girls are more interested in studies, and they are taking life seriously. And boys, I think life rather casually.
Like, ma'am, what you want to comment, like, as you had mentioned that the job of OFOAG and all, like, the people, the young generation is like, they are getting jobs and all without any the higher hard work and the higher qualification. So, is it impacting the like society, the mind of the young generation, like, not to like go beyond the boundary and all?
If you look at it way, of course, our Honorable Chief Minister, who has a very benevolent heart, I will say he's a second Harish Chandra. I think he wanted to give jobs to everybody, to all the coming generations, looking at their maybe their pathetic plights, pathetic home, the sufferings that they are undergoing. Many of them, he has gone to all the nook and corner of the state. So he has given this job. It's all very good, but there are instances, but there are the impact of this. Of course, they are the governing bodies, they are the politicians, so they must have studied the impact. They must be knowing what the impact will be. But for my own view, I feel that those children who don't study, who only come up with class 5 degree certificates, and they don't complete their studies, for them it's a manna sent from heaven. They don't have to do any work. And whereas poor students like you all must have done masters in physics and chemistry, and those who are doing, they have to struggle with all the studies, and now they are getting jobs on par with them. So that is, I feel that is not equal. That is not equal.
There should be like some segment of like work to do by the government to like implement very well.
Yes.
And like we faced that problem in the 20s and the 30s. Like we have been taught, like we have been said that the peak phase of like career is like 20s and 30s, right, ma'am? And like
That's the age, 29, 30
age. So the pressure like us, the young generation get is like, you have to look after the family and all, like you have to go on for the studies and all, like so you had been the teacher for so long years. So what are the remedies for that pressure and all that can overcome that pressure? So would you like to say?
For this present generation,
Yeah.
I think our Chief Minister has solved your solution. All are getting jobs, no?
That one is the easy one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, like the problem, if we not compare in Sikkim only, if we look go out of the boundary of Sikkim, like, so if we compare to them, we are lagging behind in some segment. So for that, the pressure we get, how can we overcome, like as a teacher perspective?
As the teachers are like, if nowadays, pressure, children, of course, after pressure, like maybe you studied, now you don't, get a job according to your qualifications, you have a family to look after, then you want to do something in life. So all those pressures, of course, they mount up. But if you only think of pressures each day, take each day by day. You have to solve each day's problems day by day. One day everything will get solved, Like if you are a farmer, if you are working in the fields, like do according to your needs. Don't aim too high if you can't achieve it. Do it, whatever you can do every day, do it. And don't copy others, And sometimes you have rich friends, they have a lot of money, they wear very good clothes, and they're always traveling in a gari, and then don't match up to their level. Don't compare with them. Do how much you have, how much budget you have. You work on your budget. You spend according to your budget, and you should take day by day. Like little by little, day by day, you should take whatever comes in your way. So there's always a solution.
Like, ma'am, like you have told, you had married in the very young age. Can we talk about this?
Sure.
So it was like arranged marriage or like love marriage?
It was arranged marriage. It was arranged marriage. Something out of the blue. I was never, I didn't expect to get married at that age. I wanted to go for further studies. But everything, I had to get married. And then I had children. Then I have to raise them up. And like I had very good in-laws. My husband was very good. My in-laws were very nice people, understanding. So that's how my family life, my marriage life worked out well. And now my children are all grown up, and then they have their own children. They're all married, and they have their own children. So maybe during those days, I used to think all my friends are all studying in college. I couldn't go to college. What's this life and all that? But those were my days. I couldn't compare with them. I couldn't enjoy life like them, like they used to write. And in those days, there's no phone. They used to write, and they used to write letters on how they enjoying life, and I used to feel bad. But everything has a space and time, So everything moves on.
Then we look to the school scenario, we have been through that. I guess you have also been through that situation. Just हामीले देख्छ नि ला, 6 देखि जब टिनेज हुन्छ नि एउटा स्टुडेन्टले, एउटा हुँदैन 6 देखि 12 सम्म चाहिँ एउटा हुन्छ नि सिन, लभ लेटर, गर्लफ्रेन्ड बोयफ्रेन्ड वाला सिन. त्यो सिनमा चाहिँ लाइक यु हेभ बिन टिचर थ्रु सो मेनी लङ्स, यु हेभ हेडमास्टर, तपाईँले प्रिन्सिपल गर्नुभएको होइन. त्यस्तोमा चाहिँ त्यो स्टुडेन्टहरूलाई चाहिँ जो अहिले त्यो इफ दे आर वाचिङ दिस इन्टरभ्यू, उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ के भन्न चाहनुहुन्छ? इज इट लाइक द्याट द एज इज भेरी ठिक छ कि छैन त्यो एज होइन ल? अन्त इफ इट इज नट, देन वाट इज द पर्फेक्ट एज फर लाइक गेटिङ द्याट?
This is with each generation. During our generation also, it is going on with our generation also. That age, 6, after that teenage age, after 12, that age is very fickle age. Okay, everything life is very bright. You want to have everything. Ama baula cherdena, haina sathi bhai. You listen more to your friends, and you like one, that fellow is looking so handsome, and you'll fall for him, and then that girl also, wow, she's looking so good and all that. No? So that's natural. All this is natural. But, you must have somebody to guide you. Sometimes, this is natural, but it must not exceed boundaries. And in school also, we used to have certain, like when I was in the school, we used to have certain classes, like we used to keep all the girls and boys together, and we used to, talk with them on these subjects, especially the girls and the boys. And especially when I came to, during our days, in Mangsha, especially during the summer break, this June break, everyone, after the summer break, there will be boys and girls, they'll get married, they'll run off and they'll get married. So that was the trend during those days. And it was not thought, it wasn't thought wrong also. So after, after go to class 5, then you see that boy and that girl is missing. So they were already married. And that was underage. So we used to have, before the summer break, we used to talk with the children. Don't, the summer break, there's a big break. You will not come to school. You will not get proper guidance. Because during those days, the parents also used to drink a lot of alcohol. And I think they never used to bother about where their children are going and what they are doing. So that was the main reason that children were misled. Another thing was overreach, Those children coming to our school, government schools, are overreached. So naturally, you can't blame them also. Maybe that age factor also worked against them. But nowadays, the scene is different. The scenario is different. Everyone is more practical. Parents are educated. So we don't have that type of problem. So nowadays, our children also, as I told you, don't take everything too seriously. Enjoy your time, enjoy your space. One day you'll find the right partner, and then you can get married and settle down.
Okay, ma'am. Like you have, and now let's move on to your political career. Okay, ma'am. Like there are examples. Like there are so many politicians who had been teacher at their past, and they have been politician, like successful politician, like the Prem Singh Tamang Sargole, like himself, and the Krishna Mayan, and like. Man, like you, how you have been motivated, like when the trigger point, like when it came, like you will join the political party and you will run for the election. कहिले चाहिँ तपाईलाई चाहिँ त्यो त्यो भयो या त कि कसैले भन्यो yes I can भन्ने like
politics अब यस्तो थियो कि actually politicsमा join गर्छु भनेर पनि थिएन. It was just that the political scenario it was in 2009. During those days, we used to get interested. I got interested. Hamro Aileko Honorable Chief Minister, he was struggling during those days as a minister, I think. He was the one to oppose Chamling. Many atrocities were committed during Chamling's time. And he was the only one to stand up and, fight back. So I used to listen to him, and I used to, I regarded him as a great model. At least he's there to fight back. At least he has the guts. So that way, I got interested in Hamro Aileka, present Chief Minister. And that's how slowly I got interested in SKM. Because there were so many atrocities going on, like promotion wines, then the victimization, all that, and sometimes even though you're not interested, you're not in that field, it bugs you, so all that, and his dedication and the people about victimization was the main thing. Like someone shouldn't have victimized, people that way.
You have been victimized?
No, I was never victimized.
Oh, okay.
That way I was not in the political field in the front also. I was never victimized. Because I was not in the, I never voiced in the political field. I was not there.
Okay, ma'am, like, तपाईले जब retirement life when you entered, हैन, अब त्यति बेला चाहिँ अब political scenario त्यति बेला अब कस्तो थियो भन्दा चाहिँ 2019 you run for the election. अब त्यति बेला 50-50 chances. Either they will form the government, either they will form the government. अब त्यति बेला चाहिँ how you collected guts के भनेको. अब त्यति बेला अब lady to run election, अब it is a mere like whole India में अब हामीले चाहिँ त्यो चाहिँ mere instances के कोही बेला मात्रै देख्न पाउँछ. अब रेडली देख्दा नि how you have been like तपाईले चाहिँ कसरी रन गर्यो अन्त कसले चाहिँ तपाईलाई चाहिँ अब सपोर्ट हुन्छ नि अब त्यो ओभरवेलमिङ सपोर्ट चाहिँ कसरी पाउनु भयो?
अब एउटा चाहिँ के छ भने चाहिँ I'm very impetuous, like I just jump into one idea forms in my head and then I'll try to follow it. And as I told you, I was a follower of Hamro Honorable Chief Minister and SKM party. And they were, whatever their programs, their manifestos instilled in me that if SKM party comes into the fall into the scene, maybe there will be a lot of changes for Sikkim and for the youth of Sikkim. So I had faith in him, and in fact, Hamro Lama Saab and Kungani Saab had come to my place to join, to make me join the SKM. And I joined the SKM not because I wanted to become a minister or something. I wanted to support SKM. So I joined SKM that way, and to give whatever I could to help the party.
The loss, you had tried very well, like over that those years.
That year.
So like when you lose the election, how you have managed like self-esteem and all?
Like have you? It was something very new to me in this political field, and I think it was my own, I was more ready to become a politician. Though I was born in a sort of political family, my father died very young, so I didn't have all that directions and all that. Political field also, I didn't know what was to be in the political field. It is only now that this 5 years has taught me a lot. So I was not prepared actually to be a politician also. It's just that my eagerness to join the SKM party to help Gole Saab, that was all. So when I was brought in it was something new, drastic new for me. What I think and what the public think, it's very vast. And I go public and we go public, I think
Vast difference.
very, very vast difference. So nowadays, plus we had to fight against a political party, SDF, who were very, very strong party, 25 years in power. So to fight against that type of party, you had to be very experienced. And I was very, very, I was very, very inexperienced. I just didn't know, even though I didn't know how to give a proper speech also. And the way to deal with the people also. As a politician, you have to deal with people in a different manner. You can't deal them coming from a teaching field and professional field. It's very, very difficult. So that you have to get, accustomed to be a politician. So yes, I got all my drawbacks. I think that because of my drawbacks, I couldn't get through to the people. And plus the people, as I told you, the party we're contesting against was very, very strong. So all those were our hindrances and my failure as a politician.
These traits के हो ma'am, अब तपाईले भन्नुभयो नि, अब you have tell about the weaknesses and all. यो traits चाहिँ के हो, great personalities को मात्रै देख्छ भन्छ नि त. Like analyzing the flaws in आफैमा देख्नुहुन्छ है. अब like त्यति बेला जब तपाईले त्यो फेस छ नि लाइफमा, अब त्यति बेला चाहिँ तपाईले चाहिँ how you manage that के हो, अब हुन्छ नि, अब त्यसले चाहिँ तपाईलाई impact गरेको थियो पर्सनल लाइफमा?
Of course. As a politician, you will learn to be एकदमै मिठो बोल्नु पर्यो हो जनतासँग. फर्स्ट एन्ड फरमोस्ट जस्तै होस्, सानो केटाकेटी होस्, ठुलो मान्छे होस्, जस्तै मान्छे, even if you don't like that fellow also, you have to smile and you say, oh, hello, how are you? And even though you don't know that person, you say, hello, Daju, and all that, you have to ask about their family background and all that. So there's a falseness in the politician's life, and you have to be that. You are made to be that. Because if you don't do that, then the Janta will think that you're very, very commanding, very, very proud. So you have to be very down to earth. You must go and go to their houses. You must go and meet everybody. Must show that you don't miss anything, especially funerals, marriages, birthdays. Don't miss out on any events. Otherwise, you'll be forgotten.
So, like, would you like to continue the political career, or like you are settling this year on the political career?
I'm happy as I am. I supported my party. I'm glad this year we got a full majority, and I'm glad that I was part of this SKM party. Maybe I wasn't able to do much, but I'm sure our SKM party, under the leadership of our Honorable Chief Minister, will do a lot in these coming years. The past 5 years, SKM party couldn't do much because of the by-elections, the first by-elections, and then the COVID took over in 2 years. So in the last few years, again, he had to get the mandate of the people and he had to work to make sure that the party is strong. So now this year, since we've got a full majority, I'm sure our government will make a lot of changes, bring in better policies and work for the welfare of Sikkim and its people.
Let's move on to the term of chairman in State Women Commission. So when you got there, अब जब हामीले अब बिमारी भने हस्पिटलमा घर मात्रै देख्छ नि त, क्रिमिनल्स भने अब जेलमा थानामा घर देख्छ. अब त्यस्तै चाहिँ अब हामीले अब देख्दैन नि अब यताउता त अब जस्तो वुमनहरूलाई के हुँदैछ कसो हुँदैछ. अब वेन यु एन्टर द्याट कमिसन होइन, तपाईँ जब कमिसनमा एन्टर हुँदा चाहिँ द मेन प्रब्लम द्याट द वुमन फेस इन सिक्किम त्यो चाहिँ के थियो?
Commission was something new to me when I was appointed there as a chairperson. There मैले चाहिँ के चाल पाएँ भने चाहिँ वुमेनहरूको उनीहरूको दुःख पीडित वुमेनहरूको उनीहरूको प्रब्लम्सहरू चाहिँ कतिवटा प्रब्लम्सहरू चाहिँ जुन चाहिँ कसैलाई सल्भ गर्न नसक्ने चाहिँ कमिसनमा सल्भ हुँदो रहेछ. There's that sexual harassment, then there's maintenance, and then there's the property rights, then there's sometimes they have abusive husbands, so and so. So all those, if the women have, they are facing new problems or face, will they stop and say they should come to the commission, and then the commission will hear their cases and will try to solve their cases.
So Women Commission is located in right?
It is in Gangtok, the old secretariat.
Okay, ma'am, when you entered that Women Commission, the major problem was I guess it was of the sexual harassment and all. And तपाईँले चाहिँ as a woman perspective हेऱ्यो भने चाहिँ अब सिक्किम भयो सबै होल ओभर इन्डिया एन्ड अल वर्ल्डमा चाहिँ अब त्यो रेप केसेस मोलेस्टेसनहरू हुन्छ नि, अब त्यो चाहिँ किन भएको? इट वाज बिकज अफ तपाईँ अब टिचर पनि हुनुहुन्छ, इट वाज बिकज अफ ल्याक अफ दि एवेरनेस, अब उनीहरूले स्कुलमा राम्रो पढाएको छैन, या त केही अरू केही बात छ होइन त्यो ग्रे साइड अफ डेट, अब त्यो चाहिँ किन भएको होला जस्तो लाग्छ?
You're correct. Lack of awareness is one. During our times, we never had this type of awareness programs. Whereas जुन चाहिँ अब हामीले कमिसनले awareness programs गर्दैछ, we are going down to the schools, colleges, SSGs. The Sikkim Commission is giving awareness programs. In fact, the last 2-3 years during my tenure, we had almost 49 sort of awareness programs with the SSGs, schools, colleges, and all that. And awareness brings, people, the children also, नानीहरूले आमा बाउहरूले देखिलेर नानीहरू देखिलेर awareness makes them more alert. र यो awareness programs चाहिँ एकदमै हुनै पर्छ, especially with girls, and not even girls, but also the boys and even all the senior citizens also, then all the women in general also. So awareness is something which is a must.
Unfortunate incident हुन्छ नि ल, is it because of that the problem in the grooming by the parents? Okay, yeah, this is just because of the hormonal changes in all, right?
Of course, hormonal changes is the main thing. At a certain age, there are many of hormonal changes in the body, which makes the boy or girl more, energized. So that, of course, in schools you all learn that you all should be engaged in creative things, in a lot of games and all that. So if that is not directed in a correct place, and if they go in the wrong, if they're company and all that, then that leads them to trouble. And of course, they have to have very good guidance, especially in the school and among the teachers also, then the parents also. And it is not that only the daughter should be given these awareness programs. It is also the sons also, the छोराहरू पनि घरको फ्यामिलीमा छोराहरूले पनि यो programs are, even father, mother, uncle. That's why we insist that यो awareness जुन चाहिँ हामीले programs राख्यो केटाहरू पनि आओस्, घरको बाउहरू पनि आओस्, so that they will know what are the sufferings of the as a female, as the girl child of their daughters, whether it's to do with the menstruation cycle, all that. So there has to be, understanding.
Would you like to comment like about the third gender? If you had been
Yeah.
you have been to like the Women Commission, so like would you like to comment on the third gender, like we let us take the name, okay, like lesbian and all.
Well, you can't say whether they are a boon or a being. No, they are all human beings. So you have to accept them as they are. You can't say that because you're a lesbian or you're a hijra or whatever, that you are very bad for the society. And in fact, what shall we say, hijras are in the Hindu community, they are considered very auspicious. When the child is born, they are called and they need to, clear the atmosphere, and then when they come, they are considered to be good. So as a human being, you shouldn't look down on them also. They are, after all, human beings. If they are created in that manner, they can't help themselves. They are human beings. In their own way also, they will do a lot of things. Just because you're a lesbian, you're a के भन्छ नेपालीमा के भन्छ केटाहरूले हिजराहरू, that doesn't mean that you're a bad person. They can be very, very good persons at heart. So mustn't look down on any people.
So like ma'am, you have mentioned about the SHGs and all. Do you feel त्यो SHGs अब गाउँमा maximum 10-12 SHGs form गरेको छ? अब it was started for a very good त्यो purpose cause को लागि हैन? अब do you feel that सिक्किममा चाहिँ त्यो SHGs त्यो जस्तो पाराले उनीहरूले जब गर्दै थियो इनिसिएटिभ लिएर गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ अब यस्तो पारा चलोस् भनेर गरेको हुन्छ नि त, अब त्यो पारा चल्दैछ जस्तो लाग्छ SHGs?
To say that, to be very frank, I don't think so. Of course, there are some very good SHGs. They're doing very, very well. But on the majority, they're not doing well. They just form a SHG. I've seen they get subsidized bank loans also. Some are doing very well. They don't have they don't have time, I think. That's what I feel. They don't have time to work together also. What is a certain training where they come on, SHG comes and then they get trained and they make their products, and then when there's a mela or when there's some VIP comes, then they display all their goods and all that. Overall, when you look at the South Indian, where you see these SHGs working on a larger scale, I think our SHGs are lacking in that area.
If we look back to the 5 years ago, there was an initiative that all the women were included in the SHGs and all. Like, अब त्यो SHGs मा चाहिँ women लाई include गरेर women लाई promote गर्नु चाहिँ, what was the main purpose of like doing?
For economic upliftment of them. No, because एउटा वार्डमा नि अहिले हाम्रो यहाँ वार्डमा चाहिँ there will be 5 SHGs. Some larger wards they'll have 8 SHGs हुन्छ. So of course SHGs, but if they work properly, economically, naturally they are uplifted. किन उनीहरूले के बनाउँछ के त्यो बेच्यो भने चाहिँ उनीहरू actually they get a certain share, and then they'll get interest also. Plus they get subsidized loans also. The loans from the banks, उनीहरूले धेरै काम गर्न सक्छ if they go it in the right way. र SHGsहरूमा चाहिँ सबै they have to be married. So because if they are married, they will stay in that ward, that bastini, they will not go out. If it's a young girl, then she'll go and get married to somebody outside, then the SHG will split again. So that's the actual aim of the SHG, and I think some SHGs are doing well. So let's hope in the future, the coming up generation, the women also all are getting, they are educated. They get married at an early age after school and all. They are all educated. At least they have till 10, 12 education. So I think the future SHGs, let's have hopes that they will do better jobs.
So ma'am, like we have completed some way slightly your life. So ma'am, we have created like new segment in our podcast. So in this segment, you will be asked 2 or 3 questions. So you have to answer it. You can take the time. It's not like the rapid fire round. So ma'am, your first question is like the turning point of life. जहाँ चाहिँ तपाईलाई चाहिँ पुरा सबसे भन्दा ज्यादा डर लागेको थियो.
Like maybe when the election results was out. That was the time when I was shall we say, I was in a limbo. I didn't know, maybe will I win or will I lose? How will I, how will I help my supporters? If I lose, how will I help my supporters? What can I do for them? They've trusted me. They've given me their votes. So that was one aspect in my life when I was quite scared, shall we say.
So ma'am, like our next question is like, our अहिलेको current situation मा what you are scared of?
अब अहिलेको current situation ma, I'm scared that coming generations, they're taking everything for granted. They're taking life very easy, especially our Sikkimese people, our generations. They expect the government to do everything, and they're not working hard. So, I think that our future generations, if they are going to continue in that manner, I think we'll have a lot of, societal cases, things which our children cannot, they are not ambitious enough. Like everything has been made very easy for them, their parents. The government also is making everything easy for the coming generations. So I'm scared of a time when our future generations, they will forget their tradition, culture, everything, their language, and they'll start only aping the West, I think. So I think that's a time when I'm afraid that our future Sikkim will not remain as it was, like what we would like to have.
So lastly, are you satisfied with your life?
Yes, I'm satisfied with my life. I've been through ups and downs. I'm thankful. I'm thankful to God for giving me this life. It could have been much worse. I had a good childhood. I had good friends. I had a good husband. My family, my in-laws, everyone supported me, and my teaching career also. I enjoyed teaching, and all the teachers, all the people who supported me, and all the jantas of Dongo constituency who supported me. So I have seen through all these phases of life. I've met with various type of people, and I've got to know them, and life has been a lesson. So I'm happy with my life and thankful for this life that I have.
Are you not scared of death?
Scared of death? Of course, naturally, as a human being, I will be scared of death, but you can't escape it. No, one day you will have to face death also. So I hope I'll die peacefully. That's all.
So, like, ma'am, like we have been to the last segment of the podcast. So, like, ma'am, the message you want to convey to the Gen Zs to be a successful person, or not otherwise of like career and all.
Like the coming generations, I would like to convey this message that be what you are. Follow your dreams and the culture, the upbringing that you have. Don't forget your upbringing, your culture, your traditions. Nowadays, generations are slowly only aping the West and looking at the Facebook and all that. But be proud of your own culture, of your language, of your traditions. And because if you lose your culture and traditions, then you are lost. You are nobody. Okay, so don't forget, you have a background, you are from Sikkim, and always be a true Sikkimese. Don't let, policies, or don't let, shall we say, there are many, people who speak against one community, against another community. Don't let these people influence you. Remember that Sikkim is for Sikkimese. In Sikkim, there are many communities here, whether it's Butcha, Lepcha, Nepali, whoever, and whoever living here. We should all live in harmony. Don't let Sikkim become like another state where there's always turmoil. There's so much of war, hatred. Nowadays, you have this war in Israel and Palestine. People killing just each other, just, senselessly. So just remember, it's a small state. It's very few people. and you don't know when you die also. So live your life harmoniously with each other.
So ma'am, lastly, I want to ask the question is, as you said that there are some anti-society wala persons and all, how they influence, like, कसरी चाहिँ उनीहरूले चाहिँ इन्फ्लुएन्स गर्छ कि अब जस्तो अब वी आर लेप्चास वी आर लिम्बुस भनेर अब आफ्नो आफ्नो जात छुट्याउँछन् अब त्योमा चाहिँ हाउ दे आर इन्फ्लुएन्स इज इट बिकज अफ दे आर लाइक अब उनीहरू अर्थोडक्स सोचाइ हुन्छ नि एउटा अब
यस्तो चाहिँ खासमा चाहिँ के हुन्छ अर्थोडक्स भन्दा दे वान्ट टु उनीहरू आफ्नै गेन्सको लागि चाहिँ दे विल इन्ट्रोड्युस अल दिस थट्स इन्टु द पिपल नि उनीहरूको आफै माथि क्लाइम गर्नु छ दे वान्ट द सपोर्ट अफ देयर पिपल सो दे विल से हामी लेक्चरहरू चाहिँ एकदमै यस्तो हुन्छ कुयु रङ दो मो या कुयु सा मन्यनो कुइदो दो बात काचेत मो कुयु सा अरे कुयु च आजुङ मो भनेर दे विल से द्याट हो नेपालीहरू आफ्नै त्यो हुन्छ होइन यो भोटे यो लाप्चे भनेर त्यो हुन्छ तर अल दिस इज मेकिङ पिपल agitated and then with this regard there's a communal divide. So in the long run kun kache पनि नेपालीको हात काट्यो भने कुनै निस्किन्छ मेरो हात लाप्चेको काट्यो भने कुनै निस्किन्छ भोटेको काट्यो भने कुनै निस्किन्छ मर्दा त हामी सबै will turn to ashes होइन. So why this communal divide? We should all live happily and in the short time that we have on earth, no?
So ma'am, in the education policies, like there is an NEP and all, like अब सिक्किमको हिस्ट्री छ नि लाइक इट इज फेडिङ अप लाइक अब कुनैलाई के हो कसो भने सिक्किम हिस्ट्री याद छैन नि त अब छुकेल टाइमदेखि लिएर त्योभन्दा पास्टदेखि लिएर त्यो त पास्ट त अब 1642देखि अगाडि त अब हामीले पनि त म्याक्सिममलाई याद छैन अब हो त्यस्तो 1642देखि अगाडि जस्तो हिस्ट्री हरायो नि हो त्यस्तो चाहिँ अब छुकेल टाइम 1642 एडीदेखि यता आएको जति छ नि अब हिस्ट्रीहरू अब त्यो नहराउनलाई चाहिँ डोन्ट यु फिल लाइक अब सिक्किममा स्टुडेन्टहरू छ नि अब जस्तो उनीहरूलाई चाहिँ एजुकेसन त्यो टेक्स्ट बुकतिर चाहिँ यु हेभ टु include the chapters of like Sikkim history and all that.
Yes, you are very true. It should be included. I think it has been included because now I'm out of touch in the school. So I think certain sections there are some, but our coming generations, yes, they should know what was in the past. Whether it's Nepali, Butcha, whoever lesson, whether during the Chogyal regime, because we had the Chogyal time, no? And then after the lectures, Butchas, Sogus, after our union sort of, we had Puntung Namgyal as the leader, as a king, then during his reign and the other Chogyals and all. So what were the changes, what are the things during that time? Because that is our past. So we must know what was in the past. Arka foreigners are if you go to Bhutan and all that, they will tell you about what is this drum and the past and all that. But our children don't know anything about the past. So that is a must that it should be included in the syllabus also, and actually should know.
Okay ma'am, like throughout the conversation तपाईको vibe चाहिँ एउटा मम खालको आयो हैन and thank you for that. Like you have been तपाईले हाम्रो मानिदिनु भयो, you have been to this like newly podcast हैन तपाई आइदिनु भयो, thank you for that. अन्त तपाईको यो charming personality तपाईको vibe यो अडा चाहिँ it may never fades हैन तपाई अब जति नै अब उ त्यो भएर अब द लाइक बिटर ट्रुथ लाइफ भनेको अब डेथ आउँछै आउँछ हैन तपाईको यो अडा चाहिँ आई गेस तपाई अहिले अब आफ्टर डेथ पनि तपाईको चाहिँ पुरा तपाईको अडा चाहिँ बस्छ हैन अब लाइक यु हेभ क्रिएटेड सो मेनी तपाईको मुनिपट अब तपाईको के भन्छ गाइडेन्समा कतिजना ब्युरोक्रेट्सहरू निक्लियो होला हैन अब त्यसको लागि थ्याङ्क यू तपाई फर सर्भिङ द सोसाइटी एन्ड अल हैन तपाईको आफ्नो लेडी भएर एउटा वुमन सिंगल वुमन भएर चाहिँ तपाईले अब आफ्नो चाइल्डहरू हुर्काउनु भयो हैन अब सो फर द्याट यु आर द इन्सपिरेसन फर मेनी वुमन्स हियर अब टु रन अ इलेक्सन इज नट इजी नि अब यु हेभ टु बी नट ओन्ली फर द बाई द मनीको त्यसले मात्रै पर्सपेक्टिभले मात्रै नभएर इमोसनल पनि हुनु पऱ्यो अन्त यु हेभ बिन ग्रेट के भन्छ इन्सपिरेसन फर अल हैन अन्त मास्टर क्यामेरामा सब्सक्राइब टु द टासी छो भन्दिनु
Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Subscribe to Tashi Show. Thank you.
Thank you.